He didn't invent anything. He didn't build a product. He didn't change the world. He just learned how to sound convincing on the phone. And that skill made him millions, destroyed thousands of lives, and somehow turned him into a celebrity. This is not the story people usually tell about Jordan Belfort. This is the part that makes people uncomfortable. He grew up in Queens. Nothing dramatic. No tragedy, no movie-level struggle. Just a normal working-class neighborhood where success meant stability, not excess. Even as a teenager, Jordan wasn't interested in enough. He was interested in more. At 16, while most kids were figuring out who they were, he was already testing a simple idea. If I can convince one person, I can convince 10. He sold Italian ice, not because he loved it, because it scaled. Tell 3 friends, get a deal. Create urgency, create excitement. By the end of the summer, he'd made more money than most adults around him. That was the lesson that stuck. Not discipline, not patience, not craftsmanship, persuasion. He tried college, then dental school. But on the very first day, the dean said something honest. If you're here to get rich, you chose the wrong profession. Jordan didn't argue. He didn't complain. He just stood up and left. Because in his mind, that sentence confirmed something he already believed. There are paths designed for comfort and paths designed for money. He wanted the second one. He tried business, door-to-door meat and seafood sales. It sounds ridiculous now, but for a moment, it worked. Not because the product was good, because he was good. Good at talking, good at reframing objections, good at making people feel like saying no was a mistake. Then the operation collapsed. Spoiled inventory, cash problems, chaos. But buried inside that failure was a dangerous realization. It doesn't matter what you sell. What matters is how you sell it. Wall Street was the perfect place for that belief. In the late 1980s, he landed an entry-level brokerage job. The environment was loud, aggressive, fueled by ego and substances. Money moved fast, so did people. Then the market crashed. Most brokers panicked. Jordan paid attention. He noticed the parts of Wall Street that nobody respected. Penny stocks, tiny companies, unregulated territory. High risk, higher commissions, and almost no oversight. That's where the phone calls started. Not conversations, performances. He didn't explain companies, he painted futures. He didn't sell facts, he sold confidence. You don't need to understand it, you just need to understand where it's going. People trusted certainty more than truth, and he knew it. Soon he wasn't working alone. He built a firm that sounded old and respectable, but in reality, it was a pressure cooker of noise, greed, and adrenaline. No experience required, no ethics discussed, just one rule: close the deal. He trained people to bulldoze doubt, to talk faster than hesitation, to treat resistance as weakness. They didn't target wealthy insiders. They targeted regular people, retirees, families, workers who believed investing was their way out. Hope became the product. Urgency became the weapon. The system worked because it felt unstoppable, until it wasn't. As the money grew, so did the lies needed to hide it. Offshore accounts, shell companies, cash moved through people who barely understood what they were carrying. Inside the firm, things got darker. Drugs stopped being optional. Excess became routine. Violence and chaos crept into the culture, and Jordan himself started unraveling. Not publicly, but personally. Crashes, addiction, risk without boundaries, the kind of behavior that only happens when someone believes consequences are for other people. Law enforcement noticed. Slowly, quietly, files were pulled, calls recorded, patterns traced. And then something Jordan never expected happened. Loyalty cracked. People turned, not out of guilt, but fear. When the raid finally came, the myth was already dead. The paperwork just made it official. Facing decades in prison, Jordan did what he'd always done best. He sold. This time, he sold information. He cooperated. He testified. He handed over names. Dozens went down. And somehow, he walked away with 22 months. Minimum security, tennis courts, writing time. That's where the final transformation happened. He didn't see himself as a villain. He saw himself as a story. The book came out, then the movie. Audiences laughed. Critics applauded. Excess became entertainment. Fraud became charisma. And the people who lost everything, they didn't get a soundtrack. They didn't get redemption arcs. They just got silence. To this day, most of the restitution was never recovered, but Jordan moved on. New titles, new stages, new audiences. Teaching success, teaching ethics, teaching persuasion. The same skills, a cleaner suit. And maybe that's the most unsettling part. Not that he lied, not that he stole, but that we watched the whole thing and called it inspiring. Because on some level, we don't just admire confidence, we forgive it, even when it's built on ruins.